Hey folks, tough acts to follow, but I hope to impress you and wow you a little bit. The first thing I want to talk about is our compute service. Super excited about this. This brings life to our SingleStore platform. It makes us the most developer-friendly platform to build modern-day data, GenAI apps, whatever you might have it. And on the basis of our excellent database and innovations that have come into our database that you saw from our colleagues, we have the end-to-end data lifecycle all on SingleStore and really easy for you to make these apps. What Compute Service does is helps you deploy GPUs and memory-optimized compute right next to your database. And with that, you can run your custom code, you can run Python, you can bring in your own images, your own containers, and run that against your database. With being co-located with your database, you get all the security, you get no expensive jobs. It's really easy for you to get started, have your data in SingleStore, and get a GenAI or a database or a data app built very easily. Next slide, please. I want to show you a cool demo, and this demo started as a little message on Slack with my colleague. We were like, let's build a real-time database, real-time recommendation engine on SingleStore based on our free shared tier with our compute service. It was the Slack message that moved into a prototype, that moved into production with rapid speed, and that's what I want to showcase here. We wanted to build a recommendation engine to predict and help me decide which LLMs I should be using for my use case. Raj was writing a book. We thought, maybe we should help him decide which LLM should be good for his book. That was the simple use case. There are thousands out there. We want to help you decide that. Data about these LLMs lives in thousands of sources. We've got GitHub, repos. You've got Twitter, where people talk about these LLMs. You have Reddit, where, again, lots of developers live and talk about these LLMs. And we had some data stored in MySQL and Snowflake. So that's how it started. We had data in a bunch of sources, and we wanted to provide you some recommendation, a search tool on top of that. How we did this was entirely in SingleStore with our compute service, with notebooks and job service. With notebooks, you make it super easy to collaborate with your team, work in Python and SQL. We have a great Copilot, so you don't even need to write code. Ramraj is a big fan of the Copilot, and that's very exciting. And you can go from, again, just a message on Slack to a prototype and bring in data from a bunch of sources into SingleStore with notebooks. And you can take that to the next level with Job Service. Job Service takes your notebooks and breaks it into production-level apps. In this case, to bring the real-timeness of these recommendations, to ensure that all of the latest data, all of the latest mentions on Twitter and Reddit are being used in providing your recommendations, we used our Job Service. So what this does is essentially pull data from these sources every couple minutes, add embeddings to it, add it to your database, and make it queryable. So that's how the data flow works. Next. And we have an awesome front end with Vercel, and we have great integrations with these partners. And this is just the start for us. We're looking to expand these. And you can run your analytical, your hybrid search queries. You can run point reads and writes and connect your application to it. Great integrations, and this is just a start for us. The best part of all of this is all running on our free shared tier. I would encourage everybody to try it. It's the only database you need to power your GenAI applications, and I really mean that. On a single free database, you can run, like I said, your vector search, your full text search, your analytics, and your point reads and writes. And this is why we think we have the secret sauce and the recipe to be the most developer-centric data platform for the GenAI era. And we're really excited about that. Cool. So here, I'm a new user in SingleStore. This is what I see. I get started. I can see my workspace. Workspace is where you have your data. It's where it lives. Starter workspace is our free shared tier. I can create one in AWS. I can start it, and that's it. It's live. And that's seconds to go from database deployed. It's live. It's a connection string. Let's get building, right? Like we're in a good flow. Let's get building. I have a great gallery of apps on SingleStore where I can see what other people are doing and our community has built in SingleStore. These are notebooks with SQL and Python. I see this real-time recommendation engine. It's a template. I can use this. I can start my application based on what somebody else has done. That's awesome. So I click on it. It takes me into our notebooks. Like I said, notebooks are a collaborative SQL and Python-based environment. It runs on our compute service, and notebooks make it really, really easy to build these prototypes with your data already in SingleStore. So here I have this template which tells me I can do notebooks with my free shared tier, and then connect it downstream with Vercel. It gives me some instructions on what I can do with it. I can pull data from various sources. Notebooks is where all of the innovation we were talking about previously with the CDCN capabilities, you'll be able to interface with everything that we were talking about with notebooks in a collaborative way. So in this case, I can bring in Python libraries, I can bring in my LLMs, which I'll be using, and my embedding models. I can connect externally with OpenAI, with other APIs. I can connect to MySQL, I can connect to Snowflake. It really is that easy way to bring in data into SingleStore. So here I've designed my tables. I can write some SQL as well. And as I go down in this demo, I show you how to bring data into SingleStore. And not just bringing in data, but bringing in data with embeddings. And that's very, very important for the modern day Gen AI applications. You want your data to be coming into SingleStore, have embeddings for that, and be ready to use in your RAG pattern down the line. We call this real-time recommendations, real-time AI, real-time RAG, and we are very, very excited about this paradigm and powering this in notebooks. So I start with this, and going from a notebook to a scheduled job is really easy. I just go schedule on the top right. I can select which database, so which database I want all of this data to go into. That's a free shared tier database. I want to schedule this notebook to run every hour or every 5 minutes, whatever your use case might be. And I can create this job. So there I go from, going back to what I said, from prototype to production, a couple clicks, a couple jobs, and I'm ready to go. So this is the job, it's live. And I show you how your data is being up to date. So this is the database with some tables. And in each of these tables, your sample data is being live and up to date with embeddings, pulled from all these sources in real time. And that's very, very exciting and very useful for us. I want to be able to pick the LLM which works for my use case based on all the considerations of all the data that's created. So that's what I show here. Now the next thing I want to showcase is our awesome integrations. And for a great one is Vercel. Vercel is a great partner of ours. And with a simple finding us on the marketplace and adding the integration, you can add your SingleStore database to your Vercel project. You don't have to worry about your database strings and your users and your passwords. All of that is just, I select my Vercel project and I select my SingleStore workspace, and that's it, boom. So you have your database and your data platform that's keeping your data live, is bringing embeddings into it, and you have an awesome front end way to connect to these tools to build applications and write code in Java, JavaScript, whatever you might have. So my application is now live. This is an LLM recommender. It's a Vercel application. And here I want to write a book on legal practices around the world. That's the query. It's pulling all this data from like number of likes, number of downloads from GitHub. It's giving me a semantic and hybrid search score, which is that there. And I can select into these. So all of this is powered by a SingleStore database. This video was about 5 minutes. It took us slightly longer than that, if I'm being honest, but very, very easy to go from a Slack message to a prototype to a full-built production app with all of these.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
And all of this is on free, so please give it a try. SingleStore.com, cloud trial. Give us a shot. Thank you so much.
This is super awesome, guys. This is amazing, amazing. You guys can see that whatever we were showing in the product section, how we make it easy integration, all those things we demonstrated. The best part is that it's open platform. You saw the example here with Vercel, but you don't need to stop there. You will see example where we are using Watson AI to use the same Gen AI pattern. You will see Vertex, you will see Bedrock. So we are a complete open platform. There are a ton of examples in our gallery around how to leverage each one of those platforms. You'll see examples of Llama Index, how to use that, LangChain, anything which you want to kind of go use. And if you don't find anything, ping us. We'll make it